Well, hey, at least the game was fun. The Hawks were in it, and we love that. Oh, come on, we're not doing this bit again. Please, no. As long as this Hawks team's not going to show up to games, I'm going to continue doing this bit over and over.
Let's go Hawks, baby!
Blackhawks haven't been a good sit for a while. And to that I say, yeah, a lot of their games this season were a hard match. Pieces are there. Blackhawks fans, stay still, be patient, and everything will work out in the end.
Welcome to Blackhawks Central.
Well, hey, at least it was a fun game, right? Blackhawks lose 3-2 to the New York Islanders. And oh boy, was that sure was a Blackhawks loss. Uh, yeah, not much to say. It was a nice comeback to say. Blackhawks, first thing here, we need to start showing up to games. This Hawks team struggled a little past while to actually show up to games. There's so many times where we are just letting a goal in within the first 5 minutes of the game. These Hawks, we need to show up on time. We need to play. We need to let like a game from time to time doing this would be fine. But it's like 8 out of 10 games that this happens. New York Islanders just I don't even know what happened. Callum Ritchie gets one, nets it, and all of a sudden it's already 1-0 Islanders barely 2 minutes into the game. Bo Horvat adds one on the power play about 10 minutes later, and through the first period it's already 2-0 Islanders. But the Hawks, we did grind back towards the end of the second there. Teravainen gets a nice one, really set up by Artem Levshinov, I believe. Off the face-off, controls the puck. Artem Levshinov is an arty party this game. I feel Levshinov had one of his better games he's had this season. As a 20-year-old defenseman, I think he came and showed out tonight really nicely what he can do. His four-directional play, his skating is unreal. Puck handling when he's starting to fly. There's multiple times today where he was just dancing in the offensive zone. And oh my goodness, there cannot be a more cursed player than Artyom Levshinov. This guy hits way too many posts, way too many posts. He hits the post again tonight, hits the crossbar, also hits the side of the post. Oh, made an excellent move to get into the position he did. And then just clanks it off the post and just like one of those ones where you're like, oh my god, that was not in the net. Especially I was we're down 2-0. That one would have definitely been a messing booster, but he gets his play a little later. Stick handles a puck, gets into a nice spot, pots it over to Moore, pots it over to Teravainen, who just drops a bomb on Callum Riddick, or David Riddick, sorry. Big save Dave, I guess. But Teravainen nets one, gets the Hawks back within one, and then a couple minutes later, the Islanders take a 4-minute high sticking call after I believe it was Horvat or Barzal gets Mr. Captain Nick Foligno up high, gets just on the bridge of his nose, starts bleeding. So we have 4-minute power play. And just towards the end of that power play, Nick Lardis from just a great play with the time winding down in the period. Oliver Moore, he takes a little look up at the clock, just like, ooh, we don't have much time left. And then he immediately turns around, makes a play. Instead of shooting, instead of panicking and just making a muffin into the pads, makes a great seam pass over to Nick Lardis, who in all respect doesn't get really all of it, but he gets just enough to get it past David Riddick, and just you love Lardis. Like I think I mentioned this last video or the year video before. Nick Lardis is having a coming out party. He's playing what he needs to play. Scores his second goal of the year after third if you count the shootout winner, but the stats only recognize this as a second. But Nick Lardis, another excellent play by him there. Just a snipe bomb. He gets it just past David Riddick, and that celebration, the little slide on the knees into the fans, unreal. That is the aura, W aura by Nick Lardis there, as the Hawks tied up at 2. And going into the third frame, nobody scores. So this thing goes overtime. And this is another overtime period where I think the Hawks played well. Obviously, we took the penalty there on Arty Levshinov. I think he didn't like the call. I get it. It was definitely a tripping penalty, but that's just a rough penalty to take in the overtime period. And I don't think even Spencer Knight in that overtime period, he didn't really have to step up too much. The Islanders, their penalty or their power play just didn't do well, really. Like they just didn't have the greatest power play, and the Hawks kill it off. And oh, another point about this: the Hawks should have won this game in regulation. Even the fact that we did not score in the dying seconds there, as all the chaos was ensuing. Nick Foligno hits another post. Puck literally goes across a goal line, and just stays out. And this thing goes to the shootout. Nobody from the Hawks side scores. Bo Horvat buries one, and so the game ends 3-2 for the Islanders. Another one of those, like, we'll take the points. Like I said, I think we wanted to take 4 points out of coming out of this, but to get three, it definitely is writing the track of where we were, because we go 500 over these 3 games after I put this team on flames. But I want to really decipher this game more as a just a talk of like how our December's gone, because it's been god awful being a Hawks fan in December. Just nothing's gone right. Uh, just we've won 3 games in December. We've gone three or three 3-9-2 in our 14 games we've played in December. Simply not good enough. Simply not good enough. We gain 8 points over a 14-game stretch. And based on how January went last year for us, just not looking forward to it. We got Dallas today, so, and I'm not looking forward to that game. Last time we came back against the team and they to beat them, and then we played them next time was against Anaheim, and they smacked us 7-1 in the infamous 6-7 weekend, where we lost 6-0 and 7-1. So not looking forward to it, but this will be a beat down we'll have to take, I guess. Fall to 14, 18, and 7, which not the worst, not the worst. 28, 35 points on the year so far. Still at the bottom of the league. And God, I am so happy watching Gavin McKenna play, because he's going to make such an impact with the Hawks when he makes his debut, whenever that happens. Him and Bedard are going to be smacking bombs together whenever he gets onto the team, because I don't think he makes the team in his first year, even though he's the first overall pick. So we'll see. But this team, oh my God. Another December retrospective I want to say is Teuvo Teravainen, who's just had an abysmal December. He scores in this game, but that does not make up for how bad he's been this December. That goal is his first point all of December. This guy's out there getting cardio. He's gone 0 points, 0. Like his plus minus here, I'll just read them off. 0 versus Vegas, -1 versus LA, -3 versus Anaheim, 0 against New York, 0 against St. Louis, -1 versus Detroit, -1 versus Toronto, -2 versus Montreal, -2 versus Ottawa, -1 versus Philly, -1 versus Dallas, which is a game we won, shockingly, and -3 against Pittsburgh, and finally a +1 against New York. So, although he had a good game today, just has not played well at all in recent memory. Hasn't had He's had the last multi-point game was against Seattle. Uh, yeah, just it hasn't been good enough from Teuvo Teravainen. And this season he has 18 points in 38 games. He's a -9. And I get on a Hawks team, like -9 isn't a horrible looking stat, but as someone who I feel should be getting more points, especially with how he was ticketed of when he came to Chicago, 18 points is very disappointing, I would believe. And he's going to be playing for Team Finland. So Finland is going to have to look at this and be like, whoa, like, what's going on here? Something like that. But Nick Lardis, so far as his stint in Chicago, he's played really well. I think I've already, I, if I'm talking about him again, then I guess I'm talking about him again. But he's had a really solid stint here in Chicago. He's now up to 8 games played. He's only a -1. He's got 2 points and 2 goals. And through those game logs, he's only -2, 0-0, +1, 0-0, -1, +1. And obviously, he's probably getting protected shifts. Like, I get that. Especially, like, a lot of your rookies, you want to give them protected shifts. So, obviously, he's not being put up against the best, like Teravainen's being put up against. But the fact that he's still playing as well as he's doing is a good sign. Really good sign, I feel. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. December's been tough. Now we're moving into January. Hopefully, it gets a lot better than it has been. So we'll end it there. Thank you for watching. Um, like, comment, subscribe, of course, do all those things, and yeah, share with your friends if you really liked it. Moving on to Dallas. Hopefully, we don't get spanked again. Yikes. Peace out, Blackhawkers.